What's up YouTube, Capital G here. Got some pretty cool duels for you guys to check out, including in the second duel, a really excellent use for Cyberse Magician, a card that, a lot of people don't usually play. That's the cover from Cybernetic Horizon, but it can be extremely powerful with the right setup. First duel is actually going to be against ABC. Well, it's ABC facing off against Endymion. Endymion should be favored in this matchup, but I don't really like the Endymion lab that much, mainly because if this happens, you draw two copies. It's just not very good. I think it's better to just play Terraforming and then Citadel, because that gets you two activation of spells, and I feel like it's just faster, you know what I mean? I feel like it's faster and more consistent. Plus Endymion can, or the Citadel can protect itself, so that's like, even better. Anyways, his opponent does go for Little Jackal's effect. Ash Blossom on that basically shuts his entire turn down. If he would have had a different Endymion Pendulum scale, he could have kept going, but maybe he would have needed something different. Anyways, Desires doesn't really get him much that he doesn't already have, just another copy of B, so that's not very good. And he's basically going to go after, or he's going to have to go into beatdown mode here, which you definitely want to, or you don't want to be doing with ABC. Very smart of him to put. This was very smart, right? He puts the Infinite Impermanence in the same scale as the Endymion Pendulum monster, so, if he wants to activate that effect and he has a monster on board, he can negate it. And he actually, like, his opponent plays right into it, try to activate the Endymion Pendulum scale, he's just going to negate it while negating the Little Jackal. So if he activates Little Jackal, it'll just basically fizzle. Gets himself another copy of Widow Anchor, which is kind of dead here, to be honest. He already has one set on the field, but now he is going to be getting enough monsters on field and hand where he can start using those nightmares to climb and start doing a little bit of a big push and trying to get rid of his opponent's monsters. Summon Sorceress is going to resolve for Nightmare Phoenix. Let's see if he starts trying to pop some cards. He's going to go after one copy of the lab, then goes for Griffin, and he's going to pitch the copy of Widow Anchor. It wasn't doing anything. It's fine. It got him a Twin Twister, so Twin Twister is going to be like super optimal because he should be able to blow his opponent's back row. Even with the Pot of Desires that he would not be able to activate, Twin Twister still coming in. It's coming in hot because it gives him the ability to potentially pop these cards, but honestly he doesn't even need it. You look at his board, double ABC Buster Dragon, double Nightmares. His opponent has no chance of surviving that. Looks like he had evenly matched on top of his deck, so this was actually a blind second version of the ABC deck. Second duel is going to be with Cyberse Magician, and it's going to be with Cyberse. Now, the thing about Cyberse is you can extra link pretty easily. Mainly, a lot of it comes into play with this card, Signet Code. If you guys don't know about Signet Code, when you link summon for a Code Talker monster, you can search a Cyberse monster that has the same attribute as the Cyberse Code Talker monster that you summoned. But I think that you can't search any other monsters with other attributes of that or during that turn. I think you can search the same attribute though. I know that you can use the search effect multiple times in a turn. Even more searching with the Signet Mining, giving himself even more cards that he wants to get to his hand. Dot Scrapper is just going to summon itself, and now he's going to go for Ultra Polymerization. It's still somehow useful in Master Rule 4. I was talking about this card the other night on my stream. Oh, you know what? My bad. I think, okay, here's what it is with Signet Conflict. You can't search the same attribute twice. You can search different attributes because he just searched a copy of C Archiver off of his Shooting Code Talker. So that was my mistake. All right, that's what it is. Anyways, he's continuing to build that link, and he does have his Cyberse Magician and Signet Ritual in hand. This, Cyberse can extra link pretty easily, but it always felt like it's a really fragile extra link, but he's going to make a really strong one in this duel. It's going to be done with a lot of protection and with a really big, strong boss monster in the middle. Goes for X Code Talker, and he's going to continue on summoning. Even goes for a Synchro Summon, which is not bad at all because it is going to get him just another card. And Transcode Talker is going to come in, give a little bit of protection. He will finally end this with that Ritual Summon of Cyberse Magician after going for Link Karibo. And this is his final board. Now, this does take your entire opening hand, and you look at it and you're like, it's kind of fragile, Cap G, but it's actually not that fragile. Obviously, your big boss monster is your Mech Knight Crusadia Astrum. This guy is still, I think, one of the most difficult monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! To kill because, you can't target it, you attack into it, it basically just activates that effect to make it so it's not going to be taken down in battle. But here's what's really good about this board. What's good about this board is the fact that Cyberse Magician and the Mech Knight Knight Crusadia Astrum actually benefit each other because they both have the effects that say that your opponent cannot attack any other monsters except them. This means that I believe your opponent can't attack at all because your opponent can't attack the Astrum and the Magician at the same time unless they have like some monster effect like what is that damn zombie monster? It's like a really old DM card that can attack like all monsters at the same time. But unless your opponent had something like that, I don't think that they would be able to attack. In addition to that, not only does this guy inherently have targeting protection, but Transcode Talker is giving targeting protection to itself and Talkback Lancer. And on top of that, Cyberse Magician gives all your Link monsters targeting protection as well. So no monsters on his field can be attacked and no monsters on his field can be targeted with card effects. So he's actually in a much better position than it actually looks like. And let's go ahead and roll and see how this vampire deck is going to try to deal with this board. I don't think he'll be very successful. I mean, maybe he can out like one monster, but it's going to be incredibly difficult. Even with the zombie world, he doesn't have any extra monster zones to actually work with. Now, the monsters can still be technically destroyed by battle. He just has to find a way. I mean, like, man, I don't know. If you kaiju them, maybe you use something like Storming Mirror Force, or, you know, maybe that's how you got to deal with them. Use a Storming Mirror Force or something of that nature. Anyways, he's attacking. The Vampire Frowlin is going to try to defend him, but the problem is he can simply just run over them. He is losing some of his monsters in battle to the Frowlin's effect, but Frowlin does have to pay a lot of life points to actually use that. So ultimately, he does end up winning the duel, and I'm not even sure that he would have been able to out the Mech Knight Crusadia Astrum with the vampires because it is just such a difficult card inherently to deal with. A lot of people are probably going to start playing kaijus to deal with this card, or, you know, use things like Fusion of Fire and other ways that, you know, don't target and stuff like that. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed these duels. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.